See, that's why the hybrid helps this car so much. Is yeah, it gets you better fuel economy, but it also gets you just better driving experience in general. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today I'm out driving the all-new 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross. Now, this isn't typically how I start a review, and that's because it is raining and because I am specifically shooting this video for my friend Rachel. She is currently the owner of a Toyota Camry, pretty nice one, and she's quite interested in this new hybrid version of the Corolla Cross. So I haven't even driven it yet. It's going to be my raw first impressions and kind of explaining to her what I think of it and you all as well as we watch. This is an SE trim, so it's right in the middle. You've got S, SE, and XSE, and this one has a few $1,000s worth of options. So this one is probably a pretty volume spec, if you will. You're gonna see a lot of these on dealer lots, spec like this. This one coming in just a hair under $33,000, about $2,200 in options. $30,000 is about where this car starts after you add in destination and handling. Options on this one include the two-tone exterior paint. We'll see that here in a moment. I'm actually going to pull forward and take a look at it. The moonroof package right there, and then the 9-speaker JBL audio system, which we have tested before. I'm going to try to get into the S car later and test the bass sound system on this one, but I remember it being okay. It's fine. The cheaper Toyota JBLs aren't fantastic. So in this SE trim, we do have manually adjusted seats, but proxy key, that's good. Fires up. Definitely a more basic looking gauge cluster as well. Single zone climate control. We're going to, leave that on for now. The 8-inch touchscreen. I'll have to double check to see if the 12.3 inch is available on this car, but still have the newer version of Toyota's infotainment that works very, very well. So that would be a big step up from your Camry, that's for sure. You can see a red one driving away. That's an SE as well. All the hybrids have black badging. Don't know what we got going on here. Seems to be some sort of, okay, it's gone. Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto support on there. Rear wiper, that's good. This is the new 5th gen Toyota hybrid powertrain, and we've driven it a little bit in the Prius, as you can see all around there. Another good car. We know it is quite good. This one making 196 total horsepower, meaning it should feel peppy. It really should. Between the torque from the electric motors and the outright combined horsepower figures, it should feel like a decently fun little car to drive around. All-wheel drive is also standard on these models. Best fuel economy is going to come from the S model, but stepping up to the SSE with its slightly larger wheels isn't going to kill things. We've got about 42 mpg combined for this car. The more important number to me is the EPA number of, I want to say 37 on the highway, if you'll excuse me glancing at my notes. 38 on the highway, but hybrids don't often do their EPA numbers in real world testing, as we've seen, and it's going to be even harder with a vehicle like this. And a little bit more boxy. You've got the crossbars up there as well. That wouldn't help. But initial driving impressions, I like the light steering. It's a thin steering wheel. It's very light, very familiar to what we see in other Toyota models. It's quite an upright seating position as well. I just got out of the Prius, which has a very slung seating position. And this one feels much more like a chair, if you will. No auto wipers, intermittent wipers on this SE model. I'm going to pull into this parking spot and we'll take a little look around it. Backup camera, of course. Here it is, the SE model in blue, the two-tone. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the looks of the Corolla Cross. It's perfectly inoffensive. That's the thing. It doesn't look bad and it doesn't look good in my eyes. It's just there. So take that for what you will. And I am getting blasted with rain. So we're gonna make this look around here pretty quick. This one does not have a power lift gate. I actually appreciate that. I don't think it needs it. Load surface back here. We do have a good amount of room, I will say. That's a lot of cargo area. Not quite as much as you get from something like a RAV4, but a pretty flat load surface. There is a little bit of a lip, so if you're pulling dog food out of here or a big diaper bag or stroller or something, you're gonna have to clear a little bit of a lip. Not perfectly flat there. And no underfloor storage and no spare tire, just an inflation kit. It might be an option the way the looking at that. This seems to be a cargo net that you can pull out. I like having those. This one also comes with a cargo cover. That's part of that moonroof package. Let's fold the seat down. And okay, well, that needs a driver's seat adjustment. Battle the rain again. Oh, that's okay. Up here, manual, so I gotta yank that forward. Back. Yank this down. Okay, it's not perfectly flat, but it does provide this little flap here to sort of smooth that over. The cloth in this SE model is not a super nice cloth, but it does feel durable. It doesn't feel the same as a lot of newer cloths in cars. This feels like an older cloth. It's a more classic 90s feel. I gotta get my seat back a ways. Now this is something that the Corolla Cross excels in compared to something like the Prius, is rear seat room. I am 5'10", average torso size, and I can sit upright and comfortable, still have about that much room between my head and the ceiling. I have a place to put a cup. No flip down armrest though, that's interesting, but I do have vents. Those two things the new Prius does not have: rear vents and a decent amount of leg. Like the leg room's okay, but it's the headroom that the Prius misses out on with its sloped back. So I think if you're someone in the market for a hybrid from Toyota, this is probably going to be a better bet for a lot of people than the new Prius if you plan on using your rear seats. Car seats are going to fit better in here, getting them in and out especially, and then people as well. Although the door doesn't open very wide, so that might be kind of hard to get a rear-facing car seat in. And Rachel is actually expecting her first child, so I guess I should be considering that a bit in here. I will say it is going to be easier to get car seats in and out of this than your Camry, I would assume, especially with the height aspect there, lifting it in and out. Okay, back up here in the front. What else do we see? A little bit of area there for center cargo storage. Not fantastic, but you could put some things. You got a USB-A port in there for charging and a 12-volt outlet. Sorry, a USB-C port for charging and a 12-volt outlet. Up here you have another USB-C port for data and a decent-sized glove box. You can see more of these two-tone seats. All right, let's go for a little drive. Really gonna get to test this in some inclement weather here. Turning radius, not fantastic. We're gonna hit that curb. But again, I love the lightness of that steering wheel, and we'll say the shifter is very easy to use as well. Although, perhaps something smaller, they could have freed up a little more space down here. Okay, man, still can't get over the steering. Something I don't love about these center cup holders is that there's no sort of teeth or anything to kind of hold a bottle in. So I've got this narrower water bottle, and it's also tin or aluminum. Not tin, no one uses tin. So it slides around everywhere, and not too many great places to put it. I'm gonna put it in the seat back pocket, but hopefully I don't forget it later. I do see automatic high beam headlights. Toyotas usually work pretty well for that. And off we go. Oh yeah, already so much better than normal Corolla Cross. I barely had to get on the throttle there. I like the greenhouse in here too. There's a lot of visibility. The pillars are not super large and thick. And looking around, even into the back, the D pillar is pretty thick back there, but got a tiny window, and between all the Toyota safety sense features with blind spot monitoring and lane departure warning, I feel pretty good about piloting this. It's weird to see an analog tachometer, especially with a CVT hybrid these days, because the tachometer is going all over the place, and for so long, even starting out with second-gen Prius and everything, they hid the tachometer behind. You didn't even have a tachometer there in the second-gen Prius. It was just gone. And it kind of makes sense because you see it go down to zero. Oh, crap. I did not expect this. There must have been an accident. Darn it. Well, I guess I'm going to be sitting in traffic. Shoot. We're going to get to experience the acceleration abilities of the Corolla Cross Hybrid now, whenever I get a chance to pull out. Yeah. Okay. See, that's why the hybrid helps this car so much. Is yeah, it gets you better fuel economy, but it also gets you just better driving experience in general. If you care, there are a few different drive modes in here. You've got normal, eco, sport. Normal, eco, sport. Just drive around in sport for a little bit. I can't imagine it's really going to change anything other than a little bit of throttle mapping. It doesn't even seem to make the steering heavier or anything. But yeah, it is peppy. It'll get up and go. The Corolla Cross is an example of a car that should have just been hybrid from the start. Toyota shouldn't have even bothered coming out with a gasoline model, and I know it makes for cheaper options, but this car just feels that much better as a hybrid vehicle. It's better fuel economy, it's better for the environment, it drives better. There's no reason to get the base Corolla Cross unless you really need a penny pinch. And to be honest with you, I mean, Toyota is a more premium brand than some of the other budget Toyota cars. So why not just leave the budget cars to the other brands and just start building nicer stuff like this hybrid version of this car rather than the gasoline version? Now, that being said, you do still have to consider the price point when you're factoring in elements of this car. Yes, it's going to get better fuel economy than a lot of its competitors, but are you going to see the savings in that fuel economy made up for with the higher purchase price of the car? I mean, what is this one? $34,000? Oh no, it's $33,000 for this car isn't bad for getting a good, competent, well-spaced and okay spec'd Toyota vehicle, but there are definitely cheaper options out there. If you're someone who just needs basic transportation, I mean, you can be down much closer to $20,000. Get yourself into a more base Civic, a Corolla, a Maverick, for example. I mean, yeah, they're not going to necessarily have all the benefits of a car like this, but they're going to be quite a bit cheaper as well, so keep that in mind. But I do have to say, for simply driving, for simply using an appliance as transportation here, this is doing a pretty good job. It's super easy to use, super easy to drive, comfortable, innocuous, really. Now, for you, Rachel, someone who owns a nice Camry at this point, I get the fact that you're having a kid. That's going to be an incentive to get into a crossover. For me, it's a little hard to see the argument for this over a RAV4. And obviously it is quite a bit cheaper, and maybe you like the way it looks better, I'm not sure. That being said, the RAV4 hybrid is going to provide you a car that you're going to be more comfortable with having for longer. I think there are elements of this car that would feel like a step up from your Camry, and there are elements of this car that would feel like a step down from your Camry. So if it's simply just to get a new car, I say stick with your Camry. But if the arguments are for getting into a crossover, getting into something that's easier to get kids in and out of, to get yourself in and out of, to get that all-wheel driveness, it's a tough argument. It really is. I could see getting this car. I totally could. The RAV4 is going to feel more premium. It's going to feel nicer to be in. It's going to be that much larger. Still going to get pretty decent fuel economy as a hybrid. Still going to be pretty nice to drive. I think its resale value is going to hold a little bit better. And then there's the other aspect of availability. This car is being restrained by both labor and part shortages. And they're only planning on making 14,000 of these Corolla Cross Hybrids for 2023 and about 34,000 for 2024. I wouldn't recommend paying over sticker price for this car, especially if you could go out and get a RAV4 for not too much more. Like it wouldn't make sense to overpay for this car versus MSRP paying for a RAV4. But at the end of the day, life's too short to not do what your heart wants to do at the end of the day, to an extent. And this certainly is a practical choice of a vehicle. So if it is something that speaks to you for whatever reason, if you like the idea of the Corolla Cross, I could definitely see living with a car like this. And it's not going to thrill you. It's not going to provide any surprises, but sometimes in life you just want something with no surprises, and I think you could do a lot worse than this one. That engine and CVT combo does get a little grainy when you're going up a hill like this and you're starting it up and hearing it rev up and shut back down. So there we are, the premium appliance, the Toyota Corolla Cross. I hope this helps you somewhat in your decision, Rachel. You should know that if you wanted to go out and buy one today, you won't be able to. They're not going to be hitting dealer lots until June or so, is what Toyota is aiming for right now. So, gives you enough time to think about it and see if it's the right thing for you. But for all the rest of you, thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the car, check the link in the description. We did a fuel economy test, a DM review, and a JBL sound test on the gasoline car. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.